Okay, James, this is Coach Brantley with Atlas Sports and Post-Grad Pitching. I'm going to give you kind of an overview of what we'd be working on specific for you. So, biggest things I want you to see here, and this is especially important given your height. I can kind of tell, basically the shorter you are, the more important this is going to be. So, like for me, I'm 6'7". I can get away with some of this. For you, which looks closer to 6 feet, you'll have to be more efficient at this move. 80% of our velo is accounted for by how well we rotate. 20% of our velo on the mound is accounted for how well we move down the mound. So if you think of just your basic force equals mass times acceleration, this is the acceleration part of the equation I'm going to make you more efficient at moving down the slope of the mound. So when you are lifting your leg, the relationship of your hands and your front leg, I get that you're trying to, get yourself taller and get as high as you can, which is great. You should try to get to your highest point at the top of the mound right here. Now, when you are coming down from this position is where we have the issue. You notice how your hands are well above your head right now. Your leg lift is especially high, and you really only need to make a leg lift that's enough to get your weight back, your center of mass back over the rubber, and then after that, your front leg, if it's doing any extra height, is not really contributing anything to your overall velocity because it has to come back down to help you start to move fast down the mound. So from this point, you got about 0.4 seconds to get from here to throwing the baseball. And the distance you're going to have to go back down is going to affect that timing. So there's two things that are going to happen. Equal and opposite reaction. You've reached up so high, so now you're going to come back down low. And it's kind of like a Clayton Kershaw move where you got to come all the way back down here before you start to make a move towards the plate, right? And so that's going to be a slowdown effect on your ability to get down the mound. Now the second part is you've reached up so high, you're coming back down with everything, so you're going to sink into your back leg or sit into your back leg and lose a ton of height. So this right here, look at the position that you're in compared to where you started with the line. So all your energy has sunk into the ground before you started to make a move towards the plate, and that's going to be a slowing effect on your ability to accelerate with the slope of the mound. Instead, this needs to feel more like a roller coaster on a hill where you're the roller coaster at the top of the hill and you're using that hill to your advantage. You're kind of gliding down the mound. You're driving, but you're not sitting down and then driving. So making you more efficient to use the slope of the mound and being faster down the mound, keeping some of your beginning height is going to be something that we want to do. To the hitter's eye too, this isn't going to be your true velocity, but your perceived velocity. You're making the ball come in flatter right here. So if you look at where you are at landing, your height relative to where you started, all you're doing is leveling the fastball off for the hitter. So even if it is 86, 87, the angle at which it's coming into the hitter is not going to be as deceiving as if we kept some of that height and moved you more with the slope of the mound. So basically, we're going to fix this timing of your hands, get you to move faster at this point like you should already be moving forward towards the hitter. And then because you won't go down so far on your back leg, once you watch your front leg here, so you do what's called early collapsing of the back leg, meaning you sit so low that your knee's going to come to the inside of your back foot. And when your knee comes to the inside of your back foot from the third base angle, your front foot is going to open early. So watch your front foot just start opening while you're in air. See how it's just opening up? So right now it's open, it's pointed towards the hitter. And so the earlier this turns, the less rotational velocity we have behind the ball, and the less whip we're going to get on the ball. Now lastly, because you sit down, your arms go down. They sort of stab down. And because of that, your hand is not going to get all the way behind your head. So when you get up to landing here, and you'll see this big time from the front angle, your hand, do you see how you can kind of see the baseball right here? Sort of peeking out. Sort of peeking out right here. You'll see the baseball right there. From the front angle, if you pan around to any of your front angles, you're going to see that the ball is basically staying on the third base side of your head instead of the elbow abducting further behind you and getting on the first base side of your head so that you can get more layback of the arm. And all that really means is just the arm's not laying back as far, so it's not whipping as much, so we can't get as much velocity. So in a nutshell, I'm going to fix your beginning, all this stuff in the beginning here, to make everything be faster towards the plate rather than down into the ground. And that's going to help the arm whip around faster and get your velocity back. And then we're sort of going to build from there with the layback, increasing your external rotation of your throwing arm and all the training that comes with that. So hopefully that helps, man, gives you an idea of what we'll do specific for you. Look forward to talking to you further.